walk into a room and spill your coffee. You are certain every single person saw it. You feel every eye in that room fixed directly on you. That feeling is real, but the belief behind it is not. This is called the spotlight effect. It is the belief that other people notice you far more than they actually do. Most people are convinced they are the center of everyone else's attention. They are not. This belief does not come from nowhere. Humans evolved as deeply social creatures. Being seen or being ignored had real consequences for survival. The brain learned to monitor how others perceived us. That instinct never switched off. This feeling shows up everywhere. It is in the moment you trip on a step and spin around to check who noticed. It is the pause before you raise your hand in a meeting. It is every outfit you second-guessed before leaving the house. Modern life made this feeling stronger. Social media trains us to imagine an audience watching everything we post. School culture taught us early that standing out meant being judged. The spotlight myth gets reinforced every single day. In 2010, psychologists Thomas Gilovich, Victoria Medvec, and Kenneth Savitsky gave this phenomenon its name. They designed a study at Cornell University to test how visible our mistakes and embarrassments truly are. Their findings were direct and clear. Participants were asked to wear an embarrassing t-shirt into a room of strangers. Then they were asked to estimate how many people had noticed the shirt. Consistently, they dramatically overestimated how many people had paid attention. The researchers found that participants believed roughly 50% of the strangers had noticed the shirt. The actual number who noticed was closer to 25%. People overestimated their own visibility by a factor of 2. That gap is the spotlight effect in measurable form. The researchers did not stop at embarrassing clothing. They tested the effect across multiple situations: bad hair days, visible acne, moments of social stumbling. In every case, the same pattern held. People believed they were noticed far more than they were. Subsequent studies replicated these findings across different cultures and contexts, the findings standing firm beyond a single study. It appears consistently wherever researchers have looked. It is one of the most reliably documented biases in social psychology. Here is the key insight from the research. Other people are not focused on you. They are focused on themselves. Every person in that room is running their own internal spotlight. There is simply no attention left over for yours. The reason this illusion feels so convincing is a cognitive bias called egocentric anchoring. Your brain uses your own experience as its default reference point. You know exactly how your shirt looks, how your voice sounded, how badly you stumbled. Others do not have that information. Your brain cannot access what other people noticed, but it can access everything you noticed about yourself, so it assumes others noticed the same things. This is not a failure of intelligence. It is a predictable feature of how human perception is built. This bias feeds itself. You feel visible, so you scan the room for evidence that people noticed. You find a glance, a pause, a small expression, and your brain reads it as confirmation. The cycle continues without ever being tested against reality. Psychologists categorize the spotlight effect as a specific form of social projection. It sits alongside other well-documented biases, the illusion of transparency, where you believe others can read your internal emotions, and self-focused attention, where stress pulls your awareness inward and makes you feel more visible. These are all variations of the same underlying error. Meet Lena. She is giving a 5-minute presentation at a team meeting. Halfway through, She loses her place. A full 3 seconds of silence. She feels the heat in her face. She is certain the room is frozen, watching her fail. In Lena's mind, the silence lasted an eternity. She replayed it all afternoon. That evening, a colleague texted her. The message said, "Good presentation today." The colleague had not mentioned the pause because they had not noticed it. Lena's story is yours. The stumble you replayed for 2 days, the comment you analyzed from every angle, the outfit you changed 3 times. Other people moved on before you finished worrying. They were busy watching their own spotlight. Here is the corrected picture. Most people are not watching you. They are managing their own anxiety, their own presentation, their own spotlight. The audience you feared is mostly absent. You have been performing for an empty theater. Knowing this changes something practical. The next time you feel the spotlight burning, ask yourself one question. If I were in their position right now, would I have noticed this? The honest answer, almost every time, is no. You would not have noticed either. The spotlight effect is not a character flaw. It is a predictable artifact of how your brain processes social information. Understanding it is not the end of self-consciousness, but it is the beginning of proportionate self-perception. You are less visible than you think. And that is a relief. Next time on Mind Decoded, we examine something that is happening to you right now in every conversation you have. Most people believe their emotions are their own. The research shows they are often borrowed. Emotional contagion. How other people's moods quietly hijack your brain. If this changed how you see yourself in a room, subscribe to Mind Decoded. Every episode, one myth, one careful examination of what the evidence actually says. The human mind is more interesting than the stories it tells about itself. We will keep decoding it together.